I'm David.
Look who's back!
I'm back. We're talking about Big Brother.
Woo!
Holy crap, you guys.
BB20 just delivers every week.
How is there like an insane scene every single week that we could talk for 20 minutes about alone?
It's so good.
It's so great. We're going to talk about Wednesday's episode and Thursday's episode, and then we'll get into spoilers.
Yes.
But Wednesday is when this veto ceremony goes down, right?
Oh wait, no, first they play the comp.
Yes, right.
First we see this crazy comp that we heard like why Tyler could pass up the veto. Now you kind of see how it could work out.
Right, because Angela does like a lot of like, you know, smooth talking because she has to convince Scotty not to take the veto from her, so she convinces him. And then she has to make it look like, well, I have to convince Tyler, even though I think they both sort of know that if she has the veto, she's going to use it on Tyler.
Yeah.
But maybe Tyler's not 100% convinced that that's the case, so he is also saying, I have to take the veto to guarantee my own safety, you know?
Right. Now, I was surprised that Scotty tried to get Tyler to throw it when it came down to the two of them.
Yeah.
And I get, like, I know Scotty and Tyler had already previously had a conversation. Like, Scotty was like, if I win it, we're both safe. Just to make sure. Because he had already been thrown up on the block. Just trying to cover his butt. But in the moment, the fact that he actually tried to get Tyler to throw it, I thought that was weird.
Yeah. I think he just was like so focused on trying to guarantee his own safety because he doesn't trust Angela, and he is a little bit of a target for Angela, but he was not her main target that week, so he didn't need to go so hard. The thing that confused me more was how much bargaining Scotty did with Angela, knowing that Tyler's just going to take the veto out of your hands right after you.
Yeah, that was odd. Like, so, you know how this works,
yeah, you don't need to fight that hard because you're not going to end up with the veto regardless.
Right. And luckily Tyler chimed in with like, Scotty, what are you doing? Like, it's mine.
Right. I'm going to take the veto.
And then Angela convinces him not to, which deep down he's fine with because he knows Angela's going to take him off. So that's how that all went down, and Tyler ends up with this kick butt trip to Hawaii.
Right. So now this Bailey backdoor plan is in play, right?
Yes.
But we see Bailey go up and talk to Angela, and she's saying like, oh, Ange, time to make a big move and put Scotty up because you just talked him out of taking the veto, and like, now let's get him up and out of this house, right? And Angela's like, but knowing that, Bailey, you're my target this week because Angela's still convinced that Bailey is the hacker and she has the power app and all this stuff.
Let's remember our video last Friday, a week ago, we said Thursday night after Angela won HOH, Tyler and Brett both said, we need to backdoor Bailey. Yeah. And Angela said, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. So this has been in the mix.
Before the whole hacker thing happened.
Then when the hacker thing happens, it's just an excuse. It's just another little layer they can throw on top. To stir the pot,
And I don't even know, like, they just sort of convince themselves in their own minds that Bailey's the hacker. We all know that she's not, but they are just convinced that she has this extra power. I don't even really know why, but
it's just because she's already their target, I think.
And they just start to get more angry at her because they think that she's lying to them about not being the hacker and this and that. So then this veto ceremony was one for the books.
Angela had warned us she was going to do a speech.
Yeah.
And she thought it was a Brett level speech. And it kind of was.
Kind of was. Very memorable.
Her and Tyler were set to just be like, ha ha ha, we got you, Bailey. Which doesn't set a good tone. I mean, entertaining for us, sure.
Right.
But Bailey's caught off guard, and she's like, wait a minute, I'm not the hacker.
Yeah.
Oh, and did you notice in the edit when Angela is saying, and I've known since day one who the hacker is, you can see Haley's chest. Like, she starts, like, almost hyperventilating. She's like,
oh, God.
She's like, she knows me. And then they're like, Bailey. And Haley's like, what?
Haley's like.
And of course, Bailey's like, excuse me?
Haley's just like, well, I'm not the hacker.
Right.
But okay, I guess I'm on the block now.
And it proceeds to unravel from there.
Right, because like Bailey keeps it together in that moment when she gets put on the block.
For a moment.
But then everything goes downhill.
It does. And here is what I'm just gonna overall ultimately say is that, you know, the day that you're basically backdoored, if a veto ceremony happens and you are surprisingly put on the block, I cannot imagine what that does to you. You could feel all sorts of emotions, sad, angry,
of course,
all of that.
Because now you have to assume that you're the target.
I get that, right? And then you have to snap out of it,
get back into game mode,
and you have to start playing the game.
You have to say, okay, they think I'm the hacker. I'm not, but I'm not going to convince them that I'm not the hacker. So what do I need to do to get votes? Like, what's my move here?
Right.
But she doesn't do that.
She doesn't do that. That was my big disappointment this week, is that I thought the next day she was going to wake up with an agenda and we were going to start seeing some things possibly move. She had a power app as a bargaining chip.
Right.
She could have done something with that.
She could have made deals.
And I was super disappointed that that never happened.
Yeah, we see her confront Tyler in the kitchen and, you know, she's sort of saying, well, I don't know why Tyler's coming for me when she was the one who came for Tyler in the first place, so that was confusing. And then we just see a lot of her moping with Haley. Now, I'm yelling at Haley through the screen, right? I'm like, Haley, get away from Bailey, because you can see in the DRs and all this stuff, Haley's really starting to feel guilty about this. And I'm like, you need to put some space between yourself and Bailey, because this is not helping you keeping this secret. What are you doing?
Yeah, you just watched Haley over the days.
Break down.
Just like,
more
and more like under the covers, like I don't know what to do,
and how could you not? Because Bailey's crying and she's emotional and she's trying to figure out who the hacker is.
If you genuinely have a connection with this person and you know that you're the hacker, obviously this was never part of Haley's plan.
Right.
They had no idea.
She was trying to target Tyler and it just didn't work out.
Right.
So then we see this sort of final meeting with Haley and Bailey, and Haley just can't take it anymore and she has to come clean to Bailey and tell her that she's the hacker. Then they're crying, right? And everybody's emotional, and Bailey's not mad at Haley, she's just mad at the situation. And then this idea of the house meeting comes up.
Oh my gosh, this is when I'm like, where's my bullhorn? I'm going to CBS, I'm getting over that wall, and I'm gonna be like, Haley, shut your mouth.
Yes, what are you doing?
It made me so mad that no one in Haley's alliance stopped to say,
bad idea.
Bad idea.
Don't do a house meeting.
Like, Fessy said it for a second and then he changed his mind.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
They were all like, house meeting.
Right. Even Rockstar was like, yes, do a house meeting. I don't know what Rockstar has to gain from a house meeting, because if Haley calls a house meeting and reveals that she was the hacker and Bailey's not the hacker, and the point of this is to take the target off of Bailey, well, what's the alternative? Rockstar goes home.
Right. There was a day in there where Rockstar legitimately thought she should go to save Bailey's game. That if Bailey stayed, she had more to like prove and more to do. She could go further. So there was some time when Rockstar was like, screw me. So she's supportive of anything we can do to get the votes for Bailey. Well,
so Haley calls the house meeting.
Even though I was screaming not to do it, Haley didn't listen. And Haley proceeded to make herself the biggest next target.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, once again, every week, the Falte / they're now the Hive is so confused on what's going on. They don't know who's connected with what. They've been very confused most of the time. And throughout this week, with Bailey on the block as the hacker, they really thought that like that was it, that was the selling point, and that if she wasn't thought of as the hacker anymore,
no reason to evict Bailey. But guess what? She still has a power app, so she's still way more of a target than Rockstar.
That's the reason you're on the block. No one figured that out.
No.
After this house meeting, which we'll talk about more in a minute, but I just want to say after it, Haley was confused on why it didn't change anything. She was like, well, it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. Because they don't care.
They don't care. Bailey's a target no matter what.
She was going to be backdoored the whole time.
The whole time that was the plan. And the hacker thing was just like, you know, icing on the cake. But even though that's not true, they still want to get her out because she's got this power up, she's got too much power in the game, and they know about it, and they want to see her walk out that door. So the house meeting.
Okay, house meeting. David has some interesting opinions on the house meeting, so I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, yes. I understand that most of the people on the internet were not Team Bae with this house meeting, but I, after watching it back on the show, was Team Bae. I thought Tyler handled the whole situation poorly, and I thought that all Bailey was looking for was an apology from Tyler, and he would not give her that. And everything he said to her, she just came back with facts, right? He was like, you should be mad at Haley. She's the one who did this to you. And she's like, honey, she was trying to target you, and it just didn't work out. And he's like, well, you lied to everybody about a power app. She's like, I didn't lie to anybody, and I didn't ask for the power app. I just got the power app because Swaggy got backdoored. So she was screaming, and she was very emotional. I know people don't like that. But I think if you rewatch it, you'll see that Bailey didn't say anything that was false.
There's really no true or false with this. It's all game. And
yes.
It's very convoluted at this point because people have said this and then they said this and then there was this little lie and there's this, like, there's so many different things that were layered into this when ultimately it's a game move and Bailey was their target. I wish that Tyler and Angela had not made such a thing about
the hacker. That was their mistake.
I wish that they could have just gone into the veto ceremony and said, Bailey, we're putting you on the block, you're our target.
Right.
And then just owned up to the fact that you have this app, you might even be the hacker,
right.
I don't know.
Right.
But we want you out. If they had just said that and stop trying to be like the villains of the show.
And like make this grand, you know, gesture and this huge speech.
Right. I mean, Tyler wearing sunglasses and sipping tea is shade to Bailey.
Yes.
That's just making it more personal to her. That's why she got so enraged.
Right. And Tyler and Angela are just sort of digging a hole for themselves by doing all of this.
But also, again, Bailey got so upset and couldn't remain in the game.
True.
And that's the problem. That's where everything went wrong. Had she not allowed her emotions to take over, this could have been a different story.
Yeah.
But they, you know, amped it up, so she amped it up, and once you lose it like that in the house meeting, I just can't imagine you ever staying. Like, I just don't know how that works.
I don't see much coming back from that. However, I would say that the only hope she would have would be that she's got two clear targets in the house now, right? Angela and Tyler. So if anybody wanted to like flip votes at any point during the week to keep Bailey, because they know exactly who Bailey would be targeting if she stayed in the house. But Bailey didn't even, she didn't even come up with that game move. Like, look, keep me and I'll go after Angela and Tyler. All of you are safe. So all of you vote to keep me and none of you are going on the block if I'm HOH. She could have made that game move too, but she just was, she fell out of the game and it was so emotional and personal, and that's what a lot of people are doing this season, which makes it more interesting to watch.
It's interesting. I mean, every time she went to campaign to somebody, she just talked about how she was being treated like trash. How dare they? They're going to be so embarrassed when they watch us back. And again, that doesn't help you. No. That's not getting votes to stay.
Right.
So I was frustrated with that. So by the time it blew up in the House meeting, I was just even more frustrated that they now have sucked Haley into them just not doing it correctly on that side. Like, as much as you want to root for them, they just keep making mistakes. And Haley just did this huge move, and I'm like, okay, great. Well, now you're gone the next week. Like, why are you doing this to your game?
Yes.
Was my take on the House meeting. But we should say, interestingly enough, one thing did come out of the House meeting. And that would be a little Miss Sam.
Yeah.
She was the only one who really was affected by that meeting.
Yeah, you saw her after the House meeting. She was one of the first people to run and comfort Bailey. And she said before she went into this house, she is anti-bullying. If any of that happens, she's going to be off in the corner trying to dismantle people's games. So she is like, she goes into like mama bear mode, and she needs to like comfort Bailey and protect her. And this continues on after the House meeting.
Sam and Bailey have seemingly been friends. But Sam seems friendly with just about everybody.
Yeah.
I couldn't honestly tell you who she actually is close with, other than Tyler, because she has sworn loyalty to Tyler and Casey.
Right.
But apparently Sam really liked Bailey.
Yeah.
And this whole week with Rockstar's punishment, she's been baking and doing Mr. Spectacular's workout things.
Yes.
Sam has been with her every single time. Every time it happens, Sam's like, I'm going to do it with you. And she's in the kitchen with her. And then they do the reps together or the sprints or whatever it is. Sam's been with Rockstar the whole time. I didn't realize that meant Sam actually is like connecting with these two people.
Yeah, right.
So as we have learned over the weeks, Sam says to Tyler, don't tell me.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Yeah, until you tell me who to vote for.
Yep.
And then you've got my vote.
Yeah.
Well, this week was a little bit different. So on Thursday, when Tyler goes to tell Sam how to vote, Sam was not really like on board to vote out Bailey. She's like, huh? Well, I don't know that I want to do that. Tyler even goes as far to reveal his power. He has kept it a secret this entire time, and all of a sudden, he tells Sam about his power.
Yeah. So now she knows that he's got the Cloud app, which we all know that was the downfall of Bailey, so
yes.
we'll have to see the fallout from that.
Yeah, at the moment I was very confused on why Tyler did that, but I assumed he was trying to ensure her vote. And he was also trying to strike a little fear in her, because the way he phrased it was like, if Bailey stays and uses her power, I'll have to use my power, and that means one of my friends is going up. And so he was kind of like, Sam, you're in danger if Bailey stays, right? Well, then Casey's next up to talk to Sam.
Yeah.
And Casey's like, look, this is why we're getting rid of Bailey.
Right.
And Sam says,
I don't
know. Let me see if I can get the votes to make Bailey stay. And Casey's like, no. That's not what we're talking about here.
Right.
We're
Bailey's
getting
going.
Bailey out.
Right.
And here's why. Casey goes into all this big picture, whatever.
Right.
And ultimately, Sam leaves that conversation going, but I can still vote how I want to, right?
Casey says, yeah, sure, vote however you want.
Sure. So she tells Tyler, and they now have a bit of a heads up that maybe Sam doesn't know what she's doing. Sam then proceeds to cry all day long. And as we saw in Thursday's episode, everyone in the house votes to evict Bailey except Sam. She couldn't do it.
She couldn't do it. I thought it was interesting, the audience reactions to everybody voting to evict Bailey, especially the people who were in her alliance.
When Fessy was like, I vote to evict Bailey, the audience goes, and he heard it.
Yeah.
You saw it on his face. He was like,
and Haley did it too.
Yep.
And people were shocked.
Yep.
And Sam was the only one.
We can look at this in many, many different ways. We can say, Sam is just an emotional wreck. What is she doing in this house?
Right.
We can say, that was damn good jury management on Sam's part, because now Bailey knows that Sam voted that way.
Yes.
Sam made sure to say it to Bailey as Bailey walked out the door.
Yes.
So no secret, Sam did that.
Yeah.
We can look at this, that Sam is now against level 6, maybe.
Who she's been loyal to the whole time.
Maybe she's not just a puppet for Tyler. We can look at this a few ways.
Yes.
Bailey's whole exit was pretty dramatic and glamorous, I would say, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
She walked out of there, you know, like a lady.
Yes, she did. She didn't storm out. She gave everybody hugs. She walked out, and she had a very interesting interview with Julie. And then she got some very interesting goodbye messages.
Yes. Okay, so Bailey is our first member of jury, so let's talk jury management here.
Yeah.
In contrast to the way that Bailey was emotional this week instead of getting in game mode, I think Brett is a great example of, it doesn't matter what happens in this house, he will always just be calm and cool as a cucumber.
Right.
He is just gonna say what you need to hear in that moment, or however to get out of a situation. That's kind of the way you gotta play the game, right? That's just staying in game mode.
Yeah.
But then his goodbye message was a bit dickish.
It was. He was Bailey's target the week before, so he's feeling some kind of way, some kind of, you know, vengeance for you put me on the block, and you know, we ended up sending Rachel home, and now you're gone. So bye, not gonna miss ya.
He took this moment as that. Of like, haha, I got something to say to you.
You already stuck the knife in, and now you're gonna twist it.
Right.
Angela and Tyler decide not to twist the knife.
First off, Angela.
What was that?
So rude to Rachel.
Yeah. So
Nice
savage.
to Bailey.
Right. Oh, I really connected with you, and I hope we can be friends with that after this. What?
What? Now, Tyler's, I think, was a bit more strategic, because the whole week I'm going, Tyler, what are you doing? This is our first member of jury, and this is the first time you're acting like this?
Yeah.
Didn't make sense to me. But boy, in that goodbye message, he turned that right around.
And it was great because he called her a good player. That was such a smart thing to say, for him to say, like, look, you were a strong player and I'm a strong player. One of us had to go. Unfortunately, it's you. And she reacted like, did he just say I'm a good player?
Oh, hello. She's going to the jury house with that.
Yeah, flattery will get you a long way, Tyler. Well done.
Absolutely. I was like, when's he going to turn around? Oh, he waited till the last minute, but he did it.
He did it. That's the end of Thursday's episode,
right? No. We did see the HOH competition in Thursday's episode.
Oh my God, I forgot.
We can talk about that before we go to spoilers.
Okay, so now it's one of those, you know, one-on-one competitions where 2 people go and then the winner picks the next 2 people to go until you're down to the final 2. So it's down to Haley and JC at the end. And this is so huge for Haley because she has just put a huge target on her back with this whole hacker situation all week long.
I literally had my shirt up over my head like this because I was like, oh my God. Like, first off, if Haley wins this, that's the best
best case
for
scenario
the game,
for her.
right?
Yes.
Dramatic
Absolutely.
twist of events,
Yes.
you know, yes. And also, I just don't like JC.
I know.
I think at this point, week 6 or 7 or wherever we are now, I can admit I don't like JC.
I'm not a fan.
I don't know what a JC HOH is going to be, but I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Right.
I'm okay with that. So I was so tense at this point.
But Haley pulls it out. She's the new HOH. She is so relieved, you can just see it. She almost collapses to the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone on her side of the house is thrilled.
I literally just spent 24 hours being stressed out about Haley making herself a target.
Yeah, totally.
And then she's the HOH.
I know, and if she hadn't won HOH, she would have been such an easy target for that
Oh,
side of the house, and it would have been a boring week. But now, we get all kind of fresh drama this week.
So here's the thing. When you do a knockout type competition, it makes the most sense to put up 2 people on the side,
same side of the house
that you're not, right? Your other side.
Yeah.
So JC is the first person to choose which 2 are gonna go.
I noticed this.
And he chose Tyler and Rockstar.
Yeah.
And for a minute I was like, wait,
what?
Is he just trying to eliminate Rockstar by taking like Tyler's like the biggest whatever, and Rockstar's like doesn't win competition? So was that what he was thinking? Is he an idiot or was he strategic with that? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
I immediately thought this is a strategy move because I noticed that too. I was like, but this doesn't make any sense. Why would he pick 2 people from opposing sides of the house? He's a smart guy. He knows how to play this game. To me, it's JC not showing his whole hand because he's been riding the middle and playing both sides of the house the whole time. If he were to pick 2 people from either side, the other side knows where his allegiance lies. So it may have looked like a dumb move, but I think it was strategic.
Right. He also did a little extra acting. He was like,
I don't know, Tyler and Rockstar. Yeah, right.
And he did like this extra shrug, and I was like, no, you didn't play that off very well.
You're overacting a little bit.
Yeah. And we end up with Tyler knocked out the first round.
Yeah.
Or the second, whatever that ended up being. I was surprised that more people didn't talk about that on the feeds. I'm surprised that Tyler didn't call that out a little bit more. Because that was really, I mean, basically he screwed that side. Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah.
But who cares? We get the most dramatic option in the end. Now we can go into spoilers.
Spoilers. So now Haley has to start thinking about who she's gonna put on the block.
Who is she gonna put on the block?
And at this point, the hacker thing is like no longer a surprise, right? They know this is gonna be in play. So she's like, okay, like I gotta figure who I'm gonna put up, but I know it might change. So like, what is my strategy gonna be?
We know that Sam has put Haley on the block previously.
Right, so that's an option.
And, you know, back in those days, Haley vocally was like, Sam, I'm going after Sam.
Yeah, right.
So maybe that's an option she's talking about.
Yeah, she's also, you know, thinking about a Tyler. She's thinking about an Angela because they caused so much drama with Bailey this past week.
Now, when it comes to Tyler, he's a backdoor option.
Yeah, because you can't let him play veto.
You can't let him play veto.
Because he'll win it. We all know that.
What we know is that Tyler has his act.
Yeah.
What he needs to know is when she's going to put him.
That's right.
Because he can't use it at the noms and veto.
Right.
If he were to use it at the original nom ceremony, he could then be backdoored, right?
Yep.
So he sends his minions into their one-on-ones with Haley with the pitch that he should be backdoored.
Yep.
Nobody questions why he's bringing this up or why this is important to him. But they're like, yes, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So they all go in with the Tyler should be backdoored.
Yeah.
And you should put Sam up.
Yep.
That's pretty much everyone's pitch.
Except for Rockstar, right?
Well, Rockstar has a second pitch after she has a little encounter with Sam.
Right, so this is the fallout from that vote, right? Where Sam, we're trying to figure out why would Sam do this vote, and now it's becoming obvious that she has turned on Tyler. And she's talking to Rockstar, and she's saying, I want Angela and Tyler out because they are snakes. And that's very on brand for Sam.
Yes, if we go back to Sam's original pitch is that I don't like bullies. And she might have just seen people she cared about acting like bullies. Yeah. She might have changed her mind on how she feels about them.
That's right.
That does feel consistent to what we know about Sam. Yeah. But Sam is the biggest enigma I have ever seen in my life. Yeah. I don't ever.
You can never guess what her next move is going to be.
What's really going on in that house. A lot of people have said Sam doesn't want to be there. She's crying all the time. She doesn't need to be in the house.
People are speculating that she wants to self-evict and all this stuff, right?
But here's what happened in her one-on-one. She goes in there and she's like, here I am. And Haley's like, tell me I don't know what's in your head.
Right.
Tell
me.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like, I don't know. I wish that I could change places with Rockstar or Bailey. I don't know why I'm still here. She says, I don't know why I'm still here, but she doesn't say, let me go.
I'm going home.
She doesn't say, I want to go home.
Right.
Doesn't say any of that. Instead, Haley says, well, am I safe? Like, are you going to put me up? Next week, let's say next week you win HOH, are you going to put me up? At first, Sam goes, no, is that what you want to hear? And Haley's like, no, just be honest with me.
It's a valid question. This is how you play Big Brother.
And she goes, fine, no, you're safe. If I win HOH next week, you're safe. And Haley goes, okay, can we shake on that?
Right.
They shake on it. And then Sam's like, is that it? And Haley's like, okay, fine. So it's the weirdest one-on-one.
Yeah, of course.
But in no way did Sam say,
send me home.
Send me home. In fact, she made a deal for safety. So that sounds like she doesn't want to go on the block.
And then she's going to Rockstar and saying, my targets are Tyler and Angela.
Yeah.
So she does not 100% want to be out of this house.
No.
She may be miserable. She may not want to stab people in the back.
She may be having a mental breakdown.
But she's not forfeiting the game.
Right. Now on the other side of this, she could be a genius and cozied up to the HOH's best friend in the house and crying and making people think she doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
And all of this is just a ploy to further her game.
Yes.
I don't know.
Who knows? But that's like a long game, right? Because Sam has been working the Rockstar relationship, like Sarah said, all week long with the punishment and all this. So her and Rockstar are all of a sudden tight, and now she can go to Rockstar and make this pitch, and Rockstar goes straight to Haley and says, you're not putting Sam up.
Right. So Sam comes down off of the possibilities. Angela was kind of there in the thought. Casey was kind of there in the thought. JC was kind of there in the thought, and I was like, go,
so
go,
close,
go,
so
go.
close.
But ultimately, Haley was like, I can't even deal with Fessy. If I put JC up, I'd have to deal with Fessy. Which again, another stupid reason that keeps JC off the block.
I know.
But anyway, more about that in a minute.
Yeah.
We're gonna circle back to JC. Ultimately, she puts Angela and Casey on the block.
Yes.
Then we play hacker.
And there's still a Tyler backdoor plan in play, right? If Angela or Casey comes down, then Tyler's the backdoor
Haley
option.
has never said, like, I definitely want Tyler out. He's my target.
But it's floating around there.
But it's floating around. Now, also with her choices of this, she has said, we also have the hacker, we have the veto. Like, I don't know if these two are gonna stick.
Yeah.
She's like, they're kind of just like my mid-choice.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's gonna happen. Hacker was played.
Casey wins.
Casey wins!
Which is great, right? This is best case scenario for
I love
drama.
Anytime it goes the other way.
Yes.
When it's going this way and then it goes this way, I'm here for that.
Yes.
Casey wins.
What does she do?
She puts up Rockstar.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure why they chose Rockstar over Fessy. Maybe because they think Rockstar won't win anything.
Yeah, maybe they thought Fessy could win veto and take himself down, and then maybe Casey goes right back up.
But they had, Tyler, Casey, and Angela had discussed before the hacker competition, if one of them wins, that was their plan. Now, ironically, even though Haley was prepared for something to change with the hacker, she's now
pissed. Oh my God.
She's so mad, and she's assuming it's Casey.
Right.
Nobody knows except Casey did tell Tyler and Angela. So the rest of the house is just trying to figure it out. They assume it's Casey. And now Haley's like, well, then I don't care. Casey's going up no matter what.
Right.
Whoever wins veto, Casey's going up.
And Casey wasn't even really a target to begin with. Haley was just like, well, you know, Casey's never really done anything to me. She hasn't even really done anything in this game.
She was trying to find someone else to put up besides Casey because she had nothing against Casey.
But now.
And now, like, she's so mad.
Casey's her number one enemy.
I hope Haley comes back down off of this little mad platform and remembers that Casey's not the threat, because she was talking about backdooring Tyler. She was also talking about JC. Scotty, let's loop back to JC. Scotty is on a vengeance. He is pushing JC's name big time ever since Haley won. He is trying to convince Haley and Fessy, which is big, that JC is a snake and lying and not being totally honest and on their team.
Which is true.
It's totally true. And I'm like, Scotty,
right?
Do it.
Yes, you're doing the Lord's work.
So like, right before noms, like, Haley's considering JC. And then of course she's not quite there yet.
She can't really pull the trigger on that.
So I was like, maybe by the time veto comes around, she'll be there if Scotty keeps it up. And now she's distracted with this Casey thing. I'm like, no,
come to your senses.
Back.
Thank you.
Get
Casey
back.
is not really a target at this point in the game. Like, maybe she's laying low and it's a strategy, but the truth is she hasn't really done anything. She hasn't won anything. There are bigger targets to get out right now, and JC is one of them.
If she doesn't stay mad, Tyler is a potential, JC is a potential. Tyler, though, is gonna have his ear.
Oh, of course.
Trying to figure out if he's the backdoor target.
That's right, because if so, he's gonna screw that whole plan. And I hope that happens, because this is the kind of stuff we live for, right? Like,
yes.
We just love to see plans just get shattered.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I would love that.
I love it. Actually, I hope that she changes her mind, but he doesn't realize it. He uses his app.
It for nothing.
And everyone realizes, and then it wasn't even. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Oh, that would be great. Woo!
I mean, we have had a different HOH every week.
Yes.
And it seems like if someone flipped or someone's like down, or like Haley made herself a target, then they become HOH.
That's right.
I mean, it is just twisting and turning.
There's been blind sides. There's been pawns going home. Like, there's been chances to come back that have just completely fallen apart. It's just been such a good season so far.
It's so good. I don't even understand how good it is.
I know.
Or like how it can be this good.
Yes.
It's great. What do you guys think? Oh my god, I want to know what you thought about the house meeting. I want to know what you thought about Bailey and Haley and all of this.
Everything. I want to know what you think about Sam and her strategy here. Let us know, and we will see you guys next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.